don't want to do either of those things.
Yeah, but if you had to, though.
We set the scene. We have a choice. We must decide on the correct answers. I'm Kyle.
And I am Nathan.
And this is If You Had To, though. Hello again, Nathan.
Hello again, Kyle.
Did you just try and speak over me? That was very rude.
I beg your forgiveness. I should never try and speak over you, Kyle, and your docile? No, docile means relaxing. Your something tones.
Heavenly?
Your dexterous tones.
Dexterous?
It begins with a D.
Delightful.
Your dynamic tones. You're delightful. You're, Devon.
My Devonshire tones.
Exactly.
I know it's been it has been a while since we recorded.
It has been a while. I think the last time I saw you, Carl, we both died in an explosion in a space station.
Something like that. That doesn't ring any bells, but I agree with you.
No, it doesn't ring any. I don't remember it either. That's why I didn't just bring it up.
Perfect. But due to the magic of me and podcasting and my delightful tones,
wait! You're taking all of the credit for the magic due to the magic of me, Kyle Bennett.
Yes, and the internet and technology,
and my little non-magical assistant Nathan. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah, and my little Igor Nathan. Due to me and that other guy. It feels to the world that we never went away because we managed to...
I'm sure they feel that same way as well.
It feels like we
I'm
never
sure
went
they
away.
feel that same way as well. That's how you say a sentence.
Yes.
Welcome to Nathan's sentence saying masterclass. I only demand £999 per second, and you too can speak like a human.
There you go. If you want to sign up for that. We were saying that we need to make Nathan a millionaire.
Yes. Me and Kyle are both equally committed to making me a millionaire. It is Kyle's number one priority in life above all else.
To make Nathan
I know you have been saving up to your great-great-great-grandmother's brain has died and he needs a brain replacement and you're saving up for that. But, priorities.
Yes. We must make Nathan a millionaire. I mean, a godzillionaire.
Then finally, I would have a life befitting my station.
Yes.
My train station. I have a really impressive train station and I can't afford the upkeep.
I mean, you own a train station. You must be at least a millionaire.
No, it's a real money pit. I'm losing so much money.
You're just hemorrhaging money.
All of my family is in debt because of my very, very poor business decision of buying a train station. It didn't even cost me that much money. I walked past the comptroller or whoever owns train stations, and he begged me to take it off his hands. I walked past the fat controller, and he just begged. He fell to his knees, crying, said, "You must take this train station from me. It's cursed. The trains, they speak.
They've got crazy eyes. Make sure you watch out for that Thomas. He's the worst of them."
I've dealt with him. He was trying to start a union, and I sorted him out.
I mean, that's quite rude. Like they named the guy the Fat Controller. I mean,
yeah, we never know his real name.
No, we're just judging him by his weight.
Well, isn't that what the narrator calls him? But also, isn't that what the actual characters call him? Hello, Fat Controller.
Hello, Fatty Boom Boom. Yeah.
Like, at least call him just the controller. Because unless he controls the fat, he's not the Fat Controller.
No. Is it controller or comptroller?
I'm pretty sure it's controller. I think comptroller is some weird, like, district, city, like a mayor type thing.
He does look like a mayor. He's got, like, a top hat. He's got this, like, black
He does.
cloak.
I mean, actually, I have absolutely no idea what his role is, because I don't know. Like,
the lore of Thomas.
He could have. Actually, that's true. This is set in a world where trains are sentient. Why do we expect the societal makeup to be the same as our world? In a world where trains are alive, I'm pretty sure a few things would be different.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people climb inside Thomas on a daily basis? It's a little disturbing when you think about it.
Do we actually see that in the show? Do people climb aboard him and are inside his stomach as he?
I don't think we ever see the passengers of Thomas. No, it's
Are there passengers, or is it actually? Has he got like train organs inside of him?
But
Like
if there's not passengers, why was he constantly driving around everywhere every day?
We don't know how this world works, Nathan. This is a weird and unbeknownst magical place that we just
but
we just
anyway,
shouldn't question.
It's got nothing to do with the train station that I bought, and my trains aren't living. That's why it's okay for me to beat them mercilessly and melt their non-alive faces with acid.
Yeah, it's weird that your trains do have faces, though.
It was a bit weird. And, the weirdest thing was when I was melting those faces off with acid, I swear in the wind I could hear screams. And there was a lot of condensation in the air. There was like a single drop of condensation underneath the eye of the train whose face I was melting. It was a very strange day.
Yeah, but that's hemorrhaging money, isn't it? So you're not quite
really
a millionaire.
So that's the first reason why I need to be a millionaire, so I can actually afford to own the train station.
So, for anyone who's got through all of that, and hasn't tuned out yet,
that's the preamble.
Yeah, there you go. Preamble out
that's
of the way.
That's the small talk. How I own a train station of possibly living trains whose lives are a living hell,
whose faces you've melted. To the sounds of screams and tears.
It was the humane thing to do. Otherwise, I had to keep looking at their faces.
Exactly. So the premise of this show is that we create scenarios for each other, resulting in 2 possible outcomes. We'll discuss each outcome's pros and cons and decide definitively on the correct answers.
Indubitably, we are dedicated to helping you out there find the answers to life's greatest questions. And to know the best decisions. Think of me and Carl as your life gurus.
Lifeguards, even. If you're drowning out there, not knowing what answer to pick, we'll dive in and rescue you. Give you mouth to mouth.
We'll be there forever and always.
Forever and always. So anyway, Nathan.
Yes, Kyle.
Let's discuss what's been happening to you in the interim, where we were away for a while, but it seemed like we weren't.
Yes, our short interlude,
our hiatus, our holiday, our break, our
going away, and then
going
back.
away. Yes. In this time, Nathan, but people at home will be glad to know, and a few of the women will be sad to know, that Nathan has fallen in love.
It's true. My heart has been claimed.
Yep, by the most beautiful woman in his workplace.
Yes, the most beautiful woman. Oh, you want me to say her name?
Yeah, I mean, she is the love of your life. I wouldn't take that away from you. I wouldn't deem say her name in your presence.
Good, because I would murder you with my bare hands. She, beautiful, immaculate, divine, heather hairy legs.
Heather hairy legs. The most beautiful woman. Luscious lips. Long blonde hair, flowing, and always blowing in the wind.
Glowing blonde hair, flowing over her long, beautiful head. I don't know why her head is long, but that's what it is now.
She has a long, beautiful face.
Oh, yeah, it's a long, beautiful face. She is a giant horse.
Yeah, well, I mean,
beautiful horse. And oh man, I mean, it's been the honour of my life to saddle and ride her.
I mean, it would be, but you're just in love with her. You haven't actually gotten together with her, obviously.
Oh, damn it! I got lost in my fantasy world again. I keep imagining the world where she actually notices me.
Yeah, but the problem is, Nathan, she doesn't even know you exist.
No. But it might have something to do with the fact that I'm working from home and I don't actually physically interact with anyone, and I've just seen her picture on the Teams meetup group.
Yeah, you have been stalking her on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest,
a MySpace page, Bebo, her local college data page, her blog.
Oh yeah, she has a very extensive blog where she writes about carrots and sugar cubes and.
Never has any woman been so knowledgeable about carrots and sugar cubes.
But through all of your stalking online, Nathan, you.
Hey. It's not stalking. It's affectionately watching her from afar without her knowing.
Yes, you are basically the guy from You.
Yes. No, I've not seen that show. I assume it's about a very romantic, lovely man who wins the love of a woman through being lovely and sweet and wonderful.
Yeah, don't watch that show, Nathan, and we'll say yes. So through all of your stalking, you have realised that she's always posting pictures of big tough guys, muscular men, wrestling Adonises, those sorts of people. And being the well-adjusted, normal person that you are, you decided the only way to impress this horsewoman was to enter the World Wrestling Championships.
It was the logical thing to do. And it's guaranteed to win. Have a hairy leg's heart. A beautiful, hairy heart.
So
I will win the wrestling competition for love, Kyle. For there is nothing stronger than love, no matter how much bigger their muscles are than me, or how much actual skill they have at wrestling, and how little skill I have. It doesn't matter, because I have love in my heart. And if television and movies have taught me one thing, and they haven't, it's that love always finds a way.
Love conquers all, Nathan.
It does. Even my lack of skill and strength in fighting.
Yeah, I mean, you did have to have a little help there. You drank lots of protein shakes, you took lots of steroids.
I've got a personal trainer who's a little centaur.
Yep. All the performance-enhancing drugs you could find.
Every single one. And after I took all of them, my little centaur trainee, Bill, let's call him, told me that they actually counteracted each other. And if I only took one, it would have worked.
You've messed your body up, Nathan.
Oh, Bill.
Don't worry. You're going to win this, champ. Don't you worry. We're going to win you this thing.
I'll do it, Bill. You and me right to the top.
You probably even visited your many doctor friends to give you some behind-the-counter stuff to make you super strong.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't kiss and tell, but I totally kissed all of those doctors and they gave me pills.
Yeah, you didn't know what they were. You just drank them all like gravy.
Oh yes, I grounded the pills down into a soup, into a big glop.
Yeah.
Put it in a flask and then downed it.
That's how I drink my gravy, from a flask.
Yeah, that's how we all drink our gravy. Good old flask of gravy, just like my mama used to make.
Lovely. Mamas do make the best gravy.
That's the name of that's the advert for our brand of gravy. Mamas make the best gravy.
And through all of this, Nathan, in the name of love, you fought your way, and drugs, of course. You fought your way.
Yes, for love and drugs.
You managed to fight your way through a roster of fighters.
Yes. I took down the Borough. I took down the Undermaker. And Betsy the Baker.
Betsy the Baker. She was one of the toughest.
Oh, I mean, my back still hurts after taking her out. She smacked me around the face with a tray of freshly baked cookies. Then she tried to stuff that cookie down my throat. And then she she took flour out of her pockets and threw it in my eyes. I could swear these are against the rules, but apparently there's no rule against throwing flour in people's faces. Yeah, it was a riveting, tough battle, Kyle. Well, I mean, you would know. You were there in the crowd cheering me on. I didn't actually see or hear you, but you said that you were there after the fight.
Oh, and yeah, definitely. 100%.
You, my bestest best friend in the world, would never ever lie to me.
No. Yeah, you did great in that football game.
Yeah, and what did you think of the outfit that I was wearing?
Oh, yeah, it was an outfit for sure. Yeah.
You think I could pull off tight, shiny green lycra that form fits into every crevice?
You certainly were. So anyway, you fought your way to the very last person, and somehow you managed to knock this guy on his feet. Off his feet,
Yeah.
even. Not on
We
his feet.
were standing on those giant podiums, hitting each other with giant cotton wool buds.
Yeah. You knocked
And
him down into the pit.
I thought, I don't have what it takes to be the very best, but I want to be the very best.
Like no one ever was.
Yeah.
To beat them is your real test. To crush them is your cause.
And I passed that test. And I passed that test and cause.
You did. With flying colours. So you climbed back down into the wrestling ring, and the referee walks up to you. Nathan, you've managed to defeat every single person in the World Wrestling Championships.
Of course. Sorry, just coughing out a little bit of my lungs there. Was it ever in doubt?
And you turn to the look in the audience, and who do you see? Heather Hairy Legs, looking up at you, smiling, hopefully.
I mean, this whole time, throughout this whole fight, and especially with all the steroid-enhancing drugs, I felt so strong. But one look at Heather Hairy Legs, and my legs feel weak.
Now, Nathan, the referee says, you've defeated every single person in the human realm. You're going to have to finally prove yourself to be a champion. And he holds up these 2 talismans. You must now face one of the 2 mightiest fighters in all of the known universes.
I'll stop you right there. I'm fighting for love. Bring 'em on, whoever they are.
Well, you've got a choice here, Nathan. You can either fight Cuddles, the polar bear human hybrid from Galacticon 7, or Clara, the 2,000-pound rhino from Mars.
Wait, did you say Mars or Mamars?
Mars. You never heard of
Okay.
Mars?
No, of course I have. I'm cool. I'm very cool. I've heard of all the planets.
Good.
So there's Cuddles or there's
Clara.
Sorry, I've been hit around the head quite a lot. You're gonna have to repeat things to me a few times.
Yeah, you've got Cuddles, who is a polar bear human hybrid. This big polar bear man, very sharp teeth, very sharp claws. Or you've got Clara, the 2,000-pound rhino woman, got a very sharp horn on her nose. You've seen pictures, obviously, online. And is incredibly heavy, could crush you very easily. So, what would you prefer to go up against? What do you think?
Will I be fighting them immediately? Because I've just finished my fight with Betty.
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh.
This is Mortal Kombat, Nathan.
Mortal Kombat!
Yep, someone does scream that from the audience.
A bit random, but yeah. So I look at them and I judge their sizes. So one is a polar bear hybrid, you said?
A polar bear human hybrid, yeah.
Okay. And the other is a rhinoceros.
Yeah, a 2,000-pound rhinoceros woman from
I
Mars.
see. And do I know anything about them? Like, I've been, immersing myself in the wrestling world for a while now.
Oh, of course.
Do I know anything about their fighting styles?
Yeah, you know that...
Do I have time, like right now, to have like a half-hour break where I go watch videos of them fighting other people and see what their moves are?
Certainly not. You're the champion. You just
But
start
not
straight away.
I have to immediately go from one fight to the next.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, obviously I've done my research because I've been going through the championship. I've obviously been looking into this stuff, so I have a vague memory of seeing some of their fights.
Yeah, you had a feeling this might be coming. You might be offered the chance to fight.
And I
Universe's
obviously
best.
know because I remember.
Mm.
But for the sake of the audience, why don't you explain what Cuddles and Clara's fighting styles are like?
Well, obviously, Cuddles has the bear claw. He'll grab you as if he's going to give you a lovely hug, but instead dig his claws into your back, sink his fangs into your neck, and tear you to pieces.
And this doesn't break any of the rules for wrestling.
No, because this is in the entire universe, there are a lot of different rules, and they have to make exceptions for some of them.
Oh yeah, and of course I'll be fighting in international space.
Oh yes, they will teleport you and the entire audience, in fact, into space in a specially sealed room where they can breathe. Don't worry about that. Don't you worry about Heather sitting up there watching you. And obviously Clara, the £2,000 rhino woman, she does attacks where she tries to knock you to the ground and then will jump on top of you with her whole £2,000 weight, trying
The
to
old pile driver.
crush you into the ring.
I do remember seeing some of the videos of her fights where she did this and the opponent's eyes and brains popped out.
Yeah, she does also do the thing where she tries to impale you on her horn. And then swing you around and throw you into the audience, killing many audience members at the same time.
Right. Wow, this is a choice.
Hmm.
Looking at Cuddles and looking at Clara, can I see any obvious weaknesses that I could exploit?
I mean,
Clara has her horn, which she impales people with, but if I were to dodge and get her horn impaled into something else, that could catch her out for a minute.
I mean, you are in a very traditional style wrestling ring, so you could get her horn caught in between the ropes, and then she would take a few minutes to try and struggle her way out.
I was thinking. And Cuddles.
Yeah.
And Cuddles. Now, Cuddles is more of a challenge. Just trying to think of the traditional weaknesses of polar bears. Obviously something I know, something that's come up very often in my life.
I mean, obviously they love salmon. If you have any salmon on you, you might be able to distract him.
Wouldn't you know it? I've left all of my emergency salmon at home.
Isn't that always the way?
In this skin-tight lycra wrestling outfit that I'm wearing, I'm afraid I did not pack any salmon.
Nathan, what do I tell you every time you leave the house?
Don't forget to bring your salmon. Yes,
I know.
When we get up in the morning and you make me a lovely breakfast and kiss me on the cheek and send me out into the workplace.
Because
what do you say every morning? We don't live together.
Of course we do. We sleep in the same, but we're like Bert and Ernie.
Podcasting village, yes. Our little podcasting house on the prairie.
We're like Bert and Ernie. We sleep in the same bed.
You better not be saying anything inappropriate about Bert and Ernie.
I would never say anything inappropriate. Unless you think there's anything going on between us, then I'm saying nothing about Bert and Ernie.
Good. Right, yeah, but yes, as you always tell me every morning, don't forget your salmon.
I do tell you that every single morning. Even if I'm not there, I will text it to you.
Yes.
And what have you gone and done?
No, you don't text me. You leave me those lovely little post-it notes on the fridge.
Yes.
Don't forget your salmon, little heart.
Yeah, and do you ever listen? No.
No, I always forget the salmon. Mainly because I don't like salmon.
I mean, whose fault is that?
You're right. I think I've learned a valuable lesson here today, Kyle. The lesson being like salmon or a polar bear will maul you to death.
Exactly.
That's our first lesson for the audience.
Oh yeah, we haven't given any facts away this episode.
No, that was a late fact.
Yeah.
It was a late bloomer.
Yes. So fact number 1 for the episode. If you don't like
if
salmon...
If I had salmon, that would be a weakness I could exploit in Cuddles. But I don't. And I'm being hard-pressed to think of any other weaknesses that a polar bear would have. Whereas the rhinoceros at least has the horn, which is a potential that I could get it caught up in something.
Yeah, if you're nimble enough and you can dodge out of the way, it is a very heavy beast and will fall a lot. And
Clara's technique is to leap up in the air and jump on me. That gives me more chance to dodge, whereas Cuddles gets up close and personal and grapples and grips in you and digs into you.
Yeah.
So I think my wrestling technique is the old run around the wrestling rink.
Rink. It is all on ice as well, by the way. It is a rink.
Yes. In that case, I definitely don't want to fight the polar bear. They've got a natural advantage on ice.
Yeah.
But my normal technique is just run away from the opponent for like hours and hours and hours until they get tired. And then I poke them in the eyes and pants them.
That is a good technique. The only advantage I would say to you being on ice is that there may be fish swimming underneath the ice that the polar bear would try and go for rather than you.
Ooh. You know what, Kyle? This is genuinely a difficult choice to make.
Yeah.
And I think the only option is to leave it No, I can't leave it to the hand of fate. That defeats the entire point, doesn't it?
It really does. We're giving people the definite answer that they will pick when they're in this situation themselves.
You're right. I forgot my obligation to our listeners. Again, I've been hit in the head quite a lot, Carl. You're gonna have to forgive me.
You need to make a decision, Nathan. Come on.
I think my best chance, and I turn to the referee. What's the name of the referee?
My name is Ben Hamburger.
Ben Hamburger.
Yes.
You tell Clara that she's going down.
As you say that, he throws the talisman to the ground, and a rhinoceros woman the size of a house appears before you.
All right, I say, crinking my neck, let's get ready to rumble.
And then the Mortal Kombat music plays.
Mortal Kombat!
And just as one of you is about to win, I'll let you tell the audience who won in a minute. Just as one of you is about,
obviously we ran towards each other, fists flying in the air, and then we paused for a few minutes while the credits rolled by.
Oh yeah, and all the photographers got their shot for the newspaper.
Exactly.
And the referee came up and said, "Finish him," or possibly "Finish her," depending on who won.
Actually, the referee has got quite good at being non-gender specific. They just went, "Finish him!"
Very good. Very modern. Yeah, very appropriate.
Finish that specific opponent.
Finish the one who is about to lose.
You, the one who is clearly winning. Finish the one who is about to lose.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And Nathan, who did win between you and Clara?
Well, as you can see from this giant hole in my chest where a rhino's horn would fit, I'm afraid to say that I crushed her.
You did indeed. Like, she got
I
so
lured her
many
in by letting her pierce me in the chest, and then I cracked the ice beneath her, and she fell.
Yeah, and that is like minus 1,000 degrees down there, so
yeah,
she froze to death instantly.
I mean, I'm pretty sure rhinos are pretty good with the cold, but yes, let's say she froze to death instantly.
Not frost that cold. This is like the Ice Age. People say that global warming's happening, but I don't believe them.
Because didn't they teleport us into space? This is an alien planet, Kai. You can't base our global situation on an alien planet.
You are correct.
We fought on an ice planet, Kyle.
You did fight on an ice planet. And Clara came from that planet. So that was Mars.
She did have the hometown advantage, yes.
Yeah, but still, you managed to win. You know, this is great news for you. Like, you have beaten the most powerful creature in existence. And even though you've got a big hole in your chest, you're going to survive. You know that. You can feel it
I've got a hole in my chest, Kyle, but not a hole in my heart. For I have the love of the most beautiful, hairy woman I have ever known.
I mean, you say that, Nathan, but you turn to look in the audience.
Please stop saying. Please stop adding this.
Nathan, you turn to look in the audience, and you do see Heather, but she's not looking back at you. She hasn't even witnessed the fight. Do you know who she's kissing, Nathan? She's kissing me.
I did this for you. What?
Nathan, she is making out passionately with me. Yes.
Get your face off of her long face.
Nathan, finally, my revenge for all the times you slept with all my wives. It's finally come to fruition.
Kyle, if I wasn't mortally wounded right now, I would pound you into the ground.
You may have won the battle, but you have not won the war on women.
War on women?
That sounds terrible.
Your relationships.
I mean,
Love is a war on women, and we must defeat them.
Yeah,
we must defeat the enemy by making them love us.
I mean, I do get into relationships with people just to destroy them. I am.
Oh, good. So I'm glad
evil.
to know that at least Heather will be happy until you destroy her.
Yeah, the love of your life will be destroyed.
Okay, good. I'm really glad that you called me in the hospital where I'm recovering from my serious injuries that I only took to win the love of Heather, and then I
Yeah.
didn't win them, and now I have to spend the next 6 months in this hospital recovering. By which point you would
Yeah.
have destroyed the love of my life.
Oh yeah,
I'm so
she'll be
glad.
gone. She'll be gone
Yeah,
forever, never to have
yeah.
existed.
I've tried to contact her, but she hasn't been answering my messages. I mean, I don't suppose you could ask her to come visit, Kyle, since put in a good word for me. I mean, if you're going to destroy her anyway, maybe send her my way.
Yes, I certainly will, Nathan. You can trust me,
Oh, why?
Kyle.
Of course I can.
Trust me with everything. I mean, that the millions you made from doing all those wrestling matches, they did sign the deeds of all of your accounts over to me while you were in the hospital.
That was part of my contract when they said, who do you want to handle your affairs and your finances for you? I said, well, obviously, to my bestest friend in the world, who always gives me salmon in the morning. And anyone that gives you salmon every morning, you can always trust with everyone, especially your money and the women that you love. So, something I just said when I first met with my wrestling agent.
Yeah, that was strange, he thought, but he
it was
he did what
a
you asked.
strange thing to say unprompted.
But yeah, fact 2 for the episode. If someone offers you salmon in the morning, they are a friend for life.
Yes. And they definitely won't steal the love of your life when you're
I
most
mean,
vulnerable.
I stole the love of your life, and yes, I am going to destroy her, but Nathan, trust me, I will look after your money and I will not spend it on a big holiday and guns.
Okay, that's good. I'm very relieved to hear that, Carl, because the only thing that could now that I haven't filled the hole in my heart and the hole in my chest, the only thing that can numb the pain is lots of food and action figures, and I need money for that.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to know that my emotional dependence is relying entirely on you, Kyle,
Yep.
the man I can most trust in the world.
Now, before I get back to my gun shooting holiday that I'm on,
where are you calling from? It looks different than where you normally are.
Oh, this is a secret location in Hawaii. It costs a few. It costs.
Good on you not to tell me there, Kyle.
It costs a few million to get here, but I just had that knocking about, so.
Oh wow! Oh, you just found it down the back of your sofa, did you?
Yeah, when you're searching, you find a bit of chewing gum, you find a safety pin, you find a paper clip, and then you find a couple of million. I decided to head off. So before I get back to this exquisite fun, do you want to just tell the audience what I got up to whilst you were doing all this wrestling stuff?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I would love to. I'm not emotionally destroyed and heartbroken, and I just want to crawl up in a ball and cry.
Fantastic.
No, that's not how I feel at all. So you, Kyle, you were sitting in your study one night in your burgundy robe.
You sure I wasn't working in the lab late one night?
No, not this night. You were sitting in your study.
Okay.
Your burgundy robe, smoking your pipe of horse ashes, while your creepy psychic son Jeffrey is playing terrifying piano music in the background.
Did you just say horse ashes?
Yes, I did say horse ashes.
As in your wife?
Oh my God.
The love of your life.
This did happen the day after the wrestling match.
It did, after I swore I would destroy her.
Oh my God. Heather! Oh, Heather, no! Why? Oh, why? Anyway, so you
Nathan,
were smoking
never before have our stories connected so fucking well. That was amazing.
You were smoking a pipe off the ashes of the woman I love most in this world, while your creepy psychic son Jeffrey was playing terrifying piano music in the background. You had been struck by the hand of inspiration around the face that is your brain, in the smack around the face we call creativity.
Oh, yes.
And you were inspired. You wrote for hours and hours, the words coming out faster than you can ever think them. You work yourself to exhaustion and pass out dead to the world. You wake up the next morning and you go to the kitchen to pour yourself some orange juice when you see on the news the events of that morning. The president was assassinated by clown monkey terrorists. All the mangoes in the world had been stolen, and all dogs around the world had learned to juggle. You realize all of these things sound frighteningly familiar. You run to your study, pull out the page from your typewriter, and discover the story you wrote last night had come true.
Oh, shit.
Somehow, you have gained the ability to script the events of the following day. And of course, you realize that with this amazing power, you only have two choices.
Of course.
You can script the world to be a peace-filled utopia of acceptance and safety, even though narratively that may not be interesting. Or you can come up with the craziest, zaniest adventures, each day getting more ridiculous than the next, which will be narratively riveting, even if billions around the world would have to suffer.
Okay, so I can either have a utopia where everything is lovely and nice,
Yes,
and
you can
everyone's
either write
happy.
into your script all countries around the world forge peace, capitalism is disbanded, everything is perfect and fine.
So you've
But,
got you've got Boris Johnson, Putin, all the members of the world in a circle, holding hands, dancing around and singing Hallelujah.
yes, exactly. They're visiting the local soup kitchens, handing out food to the homeless. In fact, no, they're handing out homes to the homeless.
Wow. I mean, I could solve everything.
So, but yeah, you can write this perfect peace-filled paradise.
Mm.
But from a story point of view, is that really the kind of story you want to tell?
Well, the thing is, Nathan, I want to sell books, and who's going to buy this shitty book about peace and love?
Exactly.
I'm not even going to be in the top 1,000 books sold that year. I'm going to be in the
No.
very bottom.
No one buys a book about how the world is wonderful and safe and lovely. You want something amazing and crazy to happen.
Mm.
So tell me, what would be the first day of crazy adventures that you would write about?
First, it would start off very normally. I would wake up in the morning, I obviously next to you, and I would say,
Yep.
Nathan, don't forget some salmon, as you were walking out the door.
I say, this salmon, it almost fills the hole where Heather would be.
I laugh very maniacally, as if I'm
while
some
smoking
sort of...
the ashes of the woman that I love.
Yes, I love to smoke the ashes of the woman that you love. And send you out with a pat on the bum and a piece of salmon.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never forget salmon again, though. There's the plus side to this.
No, I mean, I will now connect salmon with heartbreaking trauma, but I'll definitely never forget it again.
Forever will you be carrying salmon in your breast pocket.
I mean, you can guarantee that forever I'll be carrying salmon, because you can just write that into the story.
I mean, that's page 1.
Yes.
Kyle wakes
Page 1
up
is
in the
devoted
morning.
entirely to me and salmon.
No, everyone around the world. I want everyone to leave the house with a piece of salmon.
Oh. See, I was thinking you'd have to be very specific. If you wanted everyone around the world to do something, you'd have to write in your story everyone around the world. Whereas if you just wrote Nathan gets up in the morning and I give him salmon, unless you specified our surnames, only all Nathans around the world would wake up and be given salmon.
Yeah, no, I would definitely just write everyone, because then everyone would have to do it. Although then I would get given salmon. Well, that's not a bad thing. It may come in handy later in the day. So yes, obviously the first thing that would happen, I would give you your salmon, send you off. Then I would go to the window and draw the curtains. A meteorite is heading towards Earth.
Oh my god, this is so unlikely.
So unlikely, but if I wrote this, it would become true.
It would.
I pull the window open, jump outside. I forget that I'm 10 stories up, plummet, but...
This story is riveting, Kyle. I'm on the edge of my seat.
You are. But thankfully, the trampoline circus is in town, and the entire street is filled with trampolines and bouncy castles.
Oh, that was lucky.
Yeah. I saw you, wipe
I was
sweat
walking out
from
on
your
the street,
brow.
and I was walking out on the street, and I saw all these trampolines, and I thought, oh, that's funny. There's so many trampolines. And then I looked up in the sky and saw a meteor coming towards the Earth. How close to the Earth is this meteor? Like, it's close enough that you can see out your window, but it hadn't come up on the news yet.
Who knows? We don't have a telly in our house, Nathan.
Oh,
we don't have phones.
No, it distracts from the activities that we get up to when we lay in one bed together.
Yes. we
The
learn.
salmon-related activities.
I have also taught you to draw pictures with your toes. Let's not forget that.
Of course you have. And I draw you with my toes like one of those French ladies.
You do indeed. So I jump out of the window, jump on this trampoline, and the trampolines are super-powered trampolines with nitrous or something installed in them. And
Oh, that's the thing I love best about your books, Carl. The level of detail and description, how everything makes sense.
yeah,
If you say that a trampoline is super powered, you give it a logical reason to be super powered. Like, for example, it's a nitrous powered trampoline.
yeah, and I am sent skyrocketing into space. And because of
Okay, the meteor is in space. So out of the window, you could see the meteor into space. Good. I mean, I'm obviously not knocking holes in your plot because this is literally what is happening.
It is literally what's happening in the world right now.
I can't say it's unrealistic because it's actually happening.
Then I will write that Nathan shits himself just for fun.
Oh, I was just starting to feel slightly good about myself. I smelled the bag of salmon that you gave me for the day and thought, you know what? Even without Heather in my life, I think I'll be...
Oh yeah. You are projectile shitting all over the street.
Yes. Well, okay. So this has been a bit of a week for me, Carl. I have to admit. But anyway, enough about my miserable existence. What about you? What about you and the meteor?
Yeah, that is just one line in the book. Then we cut straight back to me skyrocketing towards this meteorite, where I somehow gain a powerful magical fist through sheer space magicness. And
the space magic, of course.
Yes, and I punch a hole through the meteorite, shattering it into pieces. The only problem with that is it sends monsters down onto the Earth, because there were monsters inside the meteorite, Nathan.
Okay, good. This is all day one of your crazy script of things that are going to happen. Because remember, you have the ability to write what's going to happen every single day.
Yeah.
You don't think you should start small and have one thing happen per day?
Oh, okay. Day one, I make toast.
Okay, yes, build up to it, exactly.
And then day two, all of this happens. So yeah, I crush this meteorite to pieces. Monsters start raining towards the Earth. Unfortunately, they are winged, so they can just fly down towards the Earth. They start picking off people one by one, destroying the planet.
But thankfully, they don't pick me off because I've shat myself, so they don't want to fly anywhere near me because I smell.
Yeah, you smell too bad to actually even consider.
So I'm safe from the winged monsters from space.
That's what I'm titling the book anyway. The Winged Monsters from Space, and it goes on from there. I become a savior.
And every day it's going to escalate from there. Because you can't. I like every single book. The next page has to be more dramatic than the last.
Every chapter has to end with a cliffhanger.
Yes.
So it does get very intense.
Cliffhanger. There are people trapped on a bus because you wrote it, and
yeah.
Every day the bus tips back and forth, never quite leaving the edge of the cliff.
Yeah, not until I obviously get there and using my magical fist pull them back over the edge and save everyone.
You pull the bus back off of the cliff with your magnetic penis.
My magnetic penis? Why is it magnetic?
I don't know. It's your story, Carl.
Yes. For some reason, I have a magnetic penis.
If you don't like your magnetic penis, you can write it out of the story the next day. Because you've got this power, it doesn't have to be consistent. You could write continuity errors into the real world.
Wow, that would be crazy. Like a politician saying one thing and then doing another.
Exactly. So have we settled then that you've completely dismissed the possibility of making a perfect utopia where everything is fine? Instead, you want to write about ridiculous adventures.
I mean, these are my options. It seems like I didn't really have a choice, but if I think about it logically, okay, I could either have a utopia where everything is perfect and everyone is fine and everyone is happy and I'm happy, or everything that I write becomes reality. I think I would still go for everything I write becoming reality because that would be so much more fun.
Everything you write in both of these scenarios, everything you're writing is becoming reality. The world
Yeah.
only becomes a utopia because you write about it becoming a utopia. It's just that of the two, the crazy space monsters from space is more exciting than today all politicians put aside their differences and make sure all the homeless people have places to live.
Yeah, and
That's a nicer story, but it's not as exciting.
It's not at all, and I want to sell books. That's the main thing.
Yes, exactly.
At the end of this, I want people to be buying this book.
I mean, people, when you write this book, it will be a
Yeah.
book of things that have actually happened in the world. So it's
it will be
people will
factual,
read it, and they're
yeah.
not gonna think it's actually fiction.
No, it will be a factual book, but it will be so interesting that people will want to buy it.
It will be so interesting. I mean, yeah, and you just write on the last page, and everyone buys my book, and they love it and think it's the best book ever.
Yes, I do that.
And awaits the inevitable sequel. ...
Yeah, and I could just keep writing that forever, just making whatever I want to happen. And the day I die, the very last thing I write, that's the way the universe is left.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. When you stop writing the book, the world ends.
Yeah, unless I write into the book that Kyle suddenly becomes immortal and can write forever. And obviously, Nathan, unfortunately, I'm going to write every single day. Nathan shits his pants each and every morning.
Oh, that's good. That's nice to hear. I mean, since you're omnipotent now, Carl, can you write that this giant horn hole in my chest heals?
Sure. Yeah, I've done it. You have
you're so nice. Thank God for you.
I mean, I've done that for you, and every previous episode, everything bad that's ever happened to you, I'm going to delete that.
Yeah. Can I just can we pause this podcast for a minute, Carl? I've had an accident.
No. We need to get to the end. I've got. Things
okay.
to do.
I'll just stand here in this Starbucks. Continue this conversation.
Everyone in the Starbucks laughs at Nathan. It is hilarious. Ha 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 ha. Nathan cries.
Oh no!
Nathan wails like a little baby. The end of this chapter.
Oh, you actually write the end for each chapter. The end for this chapter. This is the end of the chapter.
That's just when everyone goes to bed.
Oh, right. So everyone around the world goes to bed whenever you finish a chapter. So the entire world comes to a halt when you write the end. So people on the other side of the world, they no longer operate by their time zones. They operate by when you start writing.
Definitely not. I mean, and everyone is like how I imagine them to be. Like, if I imagine, the people in Australia to be people who just fry shrimp all day, then that is what they will be.
And they're constantly throwing didgeridoos.
Yeah.
Wait. Throwing didgeridoos.
Throwing.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what you've said. They're throwing didgeridoos.
Certainly.
They've got didgerangs.
Yeah, and they're all part kangaroo, and that is exactly what they'll be, because that's what I imagine.
Exactly.
So we've both come up with the best answers. If anyone ever gets
we've both come up with the best answers and the absolute best scenarios for ourselves. I've been mortally wounded and had my heart broken, and Kyle is a god.
I am a god. I don't care how it happened. I just am.
No, you can write into your story a backstory for why it happens if you want, or would you think it's more dramatically interesting if it remains a mystery?
Yeah, everyone loves a good mystery, don't they?
Well, if you write that everyone loves a good mystery, then everyone definitely loves a good mystery.
Fact 3 for the episode: everyone loves a good mystery.
Everyone loves a good mystery.
That's correct, Nathan. I'm glad you agree. So, before you shit yourself again, let's wrap this podcast up.
Wait, are you escalating this? It used to be I shit myself once a day. Now you're making me shit myself once every 10 minutes.
I mean, it's more funny if I can witness it over Skype.
Yeah, right. It's definitely more entertaining for you if I shit myself more than once during one single phone call.
So, we've given you all the answers you need. If this stuff ever happens to you, then you know what to do.
All the answers, like if you ever fall in love, forget about it, because there's no point in loving anyone, because they'll just leave you and then be turned into ashes.
Perfect for smoking, by God.
Yes. God will smoke their ashes. I mean, that's a weirdly poignant, however you say that word.
Poignant.
Can you write into your book that I have perfect grammar?
Nathan knows the word poignant.
Indubitably.
If you like this episode, then please follow and subscribe to us on Patreon. You can find us at patreon.com/ifyouhadto, though. You can find me on Twitter at Kyle M. Bennett. That's Kyle_M_Bennett with 2 N's and 2 T's.
And you can find me on Twitter at nwozniakart. That's N for Nathan, WOZNIAKART. And you can follow me at Nathan Wozniak on Instagram. Mostly, you'll just see pictures of me crying. And for some reason, I've chosen to take selfies every time I shit myself. I don't know why I'm doing this. It's just something I've chosen to do. Definitely my choice, not the cruel whims of a mad god out of control.
It was certainly of his own volition, yes.
Yes. So, look forward to seeing those pictures of me looking very uncomfortable and people around me looking uncomfortable while I cry and shit myself.
This has been If You Had To, though. I've had a fantastic episode this episode, and I can't wait to do it again.
Every bone in my body aches, but not as much as my heart.
Tune in next time when me and Nathan will be having just as great a time. This has been If You Had To, though. I have been your god and ruler of the universe, Kyle.
And I... Oh, Eva!